So this will be video number 3 on this Eart Classic T guitar that I got on Amazon a few days ago. So it's kind of just a fun kind of birthday gift from myself to myself. Actually, my wife just deposited $400 in my bank account and said happy birthday. So I guess it's a gift from my wife. So she's awesome. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it. There's a few things I'm not too sure of, but if I do keep it, I'm going to black out the hardware. So this bridge, all this control plate, everything, tuners, everything's going to be black. This pickguard I mentioned in the other video, it kind of has a lime greenish tint to it. You can't really tell in the camera, but that's going. I don't like that. So I'll try and see if a regular Fender pickguard fits on that. I might have to re-drill a few holes. Or I might just buy a piece of material and cut this one out to fit. So yeah, so I'm gonna slack the strings and take these strings off. They're crappy anyway. They turn my fingers black. And so either way, I'm changing the strings. And then so I'll take these off and I'll come back and I will remove this neck and then we'll see how tight it is in the neck pocket. So we'll start with that and then we'll go with the electronics and the pickups and the bridge and all that stuff. And just get her gutted. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so the strings are off. Man, I don't know if you can see that, but multicolored ball ends. I think they put D'Addarios on these guitars. Unless there's another string company that uses different color ball ends for their gauges, but I think these are D'Addario strings. So I'm surprised they turned my fingers black. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not that surprised. I used to use D'Addario strings a lot, a few years back, and then I found that the quality of them just really, really dropped. I bought numerous sets, and all their sets I was getting like the black finger syndrome after playing them. So I switched to Elixirs, the Optiwebs, and I found those were a much nicer strings, but oh well, I don't know. So yeah, if these are D'Addario strings, then they're spending a little bit of money on the strings for their customers for sure. All right, let's flip this over and pull this neck off. Here we go, it's just 4 bolts in the back. You guys can do what you want, but I would recommend always crack the bolts with a screwdriver. I like power tools as much as the next guy, but man, it would suck to have a little bit too much torque and snap the bolt inside your neck. That would not be good. So I always start with a screwdriver because you can feel these are tight. Go. Break these open a little bit, and then I'll use the tool. So because of the taper, I would assume that these top bolts here are shorter than these back ones, but we'll find out. All right, let's take this out. There's one. So just 2 back ones. Nope. Nope, they're exactly the same length. So I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, well, sign number 1 that the neck pocket and the guitar body are well made. I pulled the 4 bolts out and the neck didn't just fall off. So it must be nice and snug in there. All right, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to hold the neck. Just to make sure. And then we'll see. Oh yeah. See that? Oh yeah. That's a tight neck joint. Wow. That's really snug in there. Here it comes. Okay. That's out. I'll take the plastic off this pickguard too, I guess. Wow, that's a clean neck joint. Here, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. The lines. I mean, it's obviously not, you know, painted or varnished on the inside there, but it's a nice job. You did a good job cleaning this. Oh, my ferrules came out at the back of the body. That's all right. These over here. All right. Let's have a look at the back of this neck. Really nice. And you know what? Here's what the wheel looks like. The end of it. Now their frets are polished up right to the last one. I don't know if you can see that. That's amazing. For this price point of a guitar, that's incredible. So yeah, it looks like the neck, I'll hold it like this. I don't know if you can tell. You can see that. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's definitely a defect. Can you see the uneven curve of the heel of the neck? It's like totally off. So I think somebody just did a rush job, or I don't know, maybe it's made like that. But I think it's wrong. If one side was going to be high, it should be the low E side, because, or the, yeah, it should be the low E side should be high, because your thumb would be running down at the back of the neck this way to access the higher frets. So you would want, I would think, you would want this side lower than that one, or at least the same, but not higher. Anyway, I will definitely be in touch with Eart and see what they have to say on that. So I can't comment on the truss rod, but everything looks good there. And, truss rod wheel adjustment dial. So we'll put that aside. All right, I'm going to take this pickguard off and this pickup, and we'll have a look at that. So I'm going to pause that and I'll do the screws and I'll be right back. All right, so I just removed all the pickguard screws and the two control plate screws, and they're all the same size screws. Like, all these screws are all the same size, so it's great. You can just put them together in a pile. Whereas some of my tellies, they had different size screws for the plate than they did for the pickguard, and vice versa. So all right, let's pull this off and see what it looks like underneath. Okay. So just gotta. So nothing fancy, but it is a 3-ply pickguard. So again, they're not cheaping out. It's not like a single ply piece of plastic. It's 3-ply pickguard. Put that aside. Another bonus, I guess. All right, the pickup is the TFC40CR neck pickup, and you can see it's just a bar magnet underneath. So yeah, so these tend to be a little microphonic, and that's probably why they're a little dull sounding. But lo and behold, you can put a humbucker up here. So we might be putting a PAF up here. That is awesome. So you can put a humbucker in there, and then you have the little route down here. Man, these routes are amazing. There's no splintering or anything. I don't know if you can see that. Check out those routes. This is a $380 guitar. Like, the routes are just, they're perfect. Wow. It's crazy. The neck pocket is a little messy where down here by where the adjustment wheel is, but that's just the adjustment wheel. Where the neck would actually fit into the pocket, it's not too bad. All right, so that's cheap neck pickup to be expected. Let's check this control cavity out and see what surprises lurk beneath. Oh wow, we got some full-size pots in here. As I expected, it's just a cheap circuit board type switch. Sorry, the phone is so far away here. I can't really. Let me pause that. All right, so I put the phone a little closer, so maybe it'll be easier to have a look at this. So definitely not what you would call like a clean wiring job. Like the wires are all loose in there. One thing I noticed is there is no shielding inside these guitars, whereas the IYV guitar, it had shielding in it. Like, well, the black shielded paint. It was all the cavities were painted. So this is something I'll have to do to this one for sure. But you know what? You buy a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 Fender Telecaster, and there's no shielding in there either. So you know, for $380, I guess you could expect that. So yeah, these are full-size pots. It says H-O-N-G-H. H-O-N-G-H. So I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Hung. This guitar is well hung, I guess. So, but they're full-size pots, and I think they're audio taper pots. I don't know what kind of capacitor this is, or what kind of. I don't really see any numbers on there, but wiring job, you know, looks good. The solder is all really good. The wire, nice thick wire, looks to be of decent quality. It's definitely hand soldered for sure. Like it's not like something that was machine done. You can tell. So yeah, that's it for that, I guess. But that's all coming out if I keep it. Be upgrading all that stuff. All right, so the last thing is we're going to take this bridge off. We're going to check this pop up here to see if it's the same type of ceramic bar magnet as the neck one. I suspect it is. And we're going to see if the Babix bridge will fit on this. All right, I'm just going to pause this and undo these screws, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, bridge screws are out. Man, these things are tiny. Where are you? Here, look at this thing. That's a small little screw. I don't know. The screws on the semi-hollow body IYV were massive. They were big screws. Anyway, we're going to take this pickup out. All right, let's bridge off. All right, nothing fancy, just very thin. You know, it's like a thin bridge plate. I would assume these are just steel saddles, like they wouldn't be brass or anything for sure. But you know, no rust, no oxidization, very clean. So good for them. Again, very clean route for the bridge here. The bridge pup. Pull this out, have a look inside. Yeah. So this is the TRC44 BK. And they're ROHS is the brand name. Ross, I guess, Rose? ROHS. So it must be a Chinese company, I guess, maybe. These are not staggered. There's some good weight to them though. Like they're heavy. It's not like you can tell there's some substance to them. And so for somebody who likes that sound or that tone, I guess these would probably be, really good pickups. You probably wouldn't have to change them. I personally don't like them. I find this one very bright and thin, and I find this one super muddy. That's just a matter of taste, I guess. And they do have a little ground wire to the bridge right here. Yeah, so nothing super shocking about that. And again, super nice drill holes. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this Babix bridge fits on this guitar. So if anybody out there watching this knows Babix, so So they're full contact hardware bridge, so which means the saddle never loses contact with the bridge plate. So it has like a cam inside the saddle, and the cam turns up and down with these screws up here, and that adjusts your string height, and then your intonation is adjusted at the back like a normal bridge. But you can also, once it's set, you can lock your saddles down with these screws up front here, and so you never have to worry about it going out. So if you're changing strings and you take all strings off at a time, it doesn't matter. So it's great. And the other thing I like about this is you can load it. You can load the strings, through the body, or you can also load them top mount on the back. So a very versatile bridge. And this will mount to a 4-hole telly or a 3-hole telly. So the only problem with these bridges is to mount them, you have to remove all the saddles because there's no accessing the holes from underneath. So it's the only issue. But I have this bridge on a handmade custom guitar that I have, and it's fantastic. I've never had so much tuning stability and consistent tone until I switched to this bridge. It's probably not as nice as, if you like the vintage tone of brass, then you're not going to get that with this. However, I saw that Babix do make brass cams now. You just pop these out and you put the brass one in, and you can just keep your original bridge. So maybe that's a thing that you could look at if you want this style of bridge with a more vintage tone. But anyway, but even these American company Babix bridges, they're made in in Taiwan. So I don't care if you're buying an American Fender Telecaster or whatever, unless it's made by hand in a custom shop, it's probably made overseas. So enter Eart guitars, $380, and they're amazing. Like, they're wicked made. They're really good. Anyway, I'm gonna see if this thing lines up. I can see the screw holes through the bridge plates here, and let's see if I can line these up. Wow, look at that. I'm not sure about the string through body holes because I can't really see those guys. Oh wait, yes I can. Wow, it's a perfect fit. Perfect fit. So there you go. So these Eart Telecasters are routed to vintage and modern Telecaster spec. So you can put whatever bridge you want on this thing. So, if you don't want to spend $800 or $900 or $1,000 or $2,000 on a Telecaster, and you want something else with custom pickups, you can buy one of these and mod it up. I think that's what I'm going to do with this. I want to talk to Eart again about this neck pocket and about the neck, and see what they recommend and what they're going to do for me as far as compensation is what the word she used, and if that goes well, I'm going to be ordering some parts and modding the crap out of this thing, and then I'll be back and I'll show you the finished product. So yeah, all in all, these guitars, playability wise, awesome, construction wise, awesome, and modability, awesome, because it looks like anything's gonna fit. So yeah, I don't know if that helps anybody out there looking at something like this, but so far I'm very impressed with what I've seen. So you guys take care, and I'll be back once I figure out what I'm going to do with this and the hardware and pickups and stuff that I'm going to buy. Looking at some Guitar Fetish stuff with the quick plug setup. So it's all solder free, and they're big overwound pickups. They're kind of vintage telly style, but a little bit overwound, and apparently the reviews are really good. So, and they're inexpensive. I mean, I'm not sinking, the guitar's $280, so I'm not buying $400 of parts to mod this thing, that's for sure. That would be just dumb, I think. I like it, but not that much. So yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at, and I'm going to leave it at that, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you very much, and please comment below if you have any questions. I'll answer them. And be safe, be kind, and have a great one.